Jim Fassel died of a heart attack at the age of 71. His son John confirmed it to the Los Angeles Times. 97 to 2003, 58, 53, and 1. Giants contenders every year. That was as they emerged from that post-Parcells funk, Chris.
Right.
That they found their footing with Fassel after 2003, shifted to Tom Coughlin, and obviously won a couple of Super Bowls with him. But Fassel was an important bridge to what the Giants would become under Coughlin.
Agreed. I mean, Fassel kind of like rejuvenated the organization. You're right, of that like post-Parcells hangover. What are they? There was a few years in flux there with the quarterback situation. And Fassel like brought attitude back to the New York Giants coaching. You know, he was a little bit of a showman. He wasn't afraid, like we just saw in that clip there. Wasn't afraid to make bold statements and talk to the New York media and talk tough back to them when they talk tough to him. You know, that's kind of what we like up here in New York. That's what we expect from our Giants coaches. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for him, and those were some of the great games I grew up, you know, after my dad retired, going to some of these Jim Fassel games, them beating your Minnesota Vikings butts in that NFC Championship game was one of the coolest games I was ever at. But he has a really special place in my heart, Jim Fassel. He ran my pro day before I came out in the NFL draft. He was the guy who ran my workout for me. I've known him since I was 10, 11 years old. He was my dad's quarterback.
Look at Sean Payton. My God.
Hang
on a second. Did you see Sean Payton?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Crazy.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Worry.
I was stunned to see that.
Yeah, let's go back and watch it. Look at that. There he is. But just such a special guy. And I think that, you know, I could speak for the whole Simms family. And I don't think anybody taught my father, me, or anything what we do as far as quarterbacks more about mechanics and throwing the football more than Jim Fassel. He was really one of the more underrated offensive minds and quarterback whisperers of the league there for a period of time. Don't know if he quite gets credit for that, but man, I'm heartbroken to see that he passed away, and really my heart goes out to their family.
The World Football League of 74 and 75, he was player coach for the Hawaiians, and he threw the last pass in the last game in WFL history. And we see so many head coaches get second opportunities, and I've had people ask me over the years, you know, what Jim Fassel, I mean, far lesser coaches who didn't take teams to the Super Bowl like Hugh Jackson, found their way back to a sideline. It really is strange to me that Jim Fassel never got that opportunity.
I'm with you. I mean, from the results we saw, I mean, first off, tough situation with the Giants. Had a number of situations where the team was kind of stumbling or, you know, stubbing their foot or whatever else, their toe, and he got them back with his leadership and rallying cries. To me, that was like the one of the special things about Jim Fassel, and they played tough football. They really did. And you would think with like, you know, this era we've been in for the last 20, 25 years, a quarterback, we need a quarterback whisperer, a guy that has offensive ideas. Fassel was that. And that's where I'm with you. I'm a little surprised he never really got a second crack at it either.
Coach of the Year in 1997, his first year as the head coach. Pretty good start to his career. And then it was just a few years later that he took the team to the Super Bowl. And again, 58, 53, and 1. Guys with lesser records and lesser accomplishments ended up getting second chances in the NFL. He was a two-time UFL champion, if you remember that league. It was around for a couple of years. The football was pretty good. The uniforms were
horrible,
were beyond hideous.
Yes.
But the football actually, you know, there's plenty of guys out there who don't make it onto an NFL roster who can still play football, and we're seeing these other leagues realize that now, Chris. But the UFL, I enjoyed watching those games as long as I found an old black and white TV, so I didn't have to really appreciate the god awful uniforms. So anyway, what else you got?
Well, I just he's like just such an awesome personality that I was always around. Always made me feel good. You know, always included people in the room, made everybody feel like they're involved in the conversation. His son John, I mean, there's a reason he's successful. Yeah, it's because his father raised him the right way, taught him how to work, do those things. He treats people the right way, just like his father. You know, Mike, here's a crazy story. Like this is crazy actually. 1992, there's a preseason game. I'm in the Giants locker room after the game, right? I'm actually back in the training room. my dad and Hostetler are battling it out, right, for the starting quarterback job. It's a big thing here in New York City. Simms or Hostetler, Hostetler or Simms. It's all anybody could talk about. I don't know why I'm waiting for my dad. Usually he tells me, go back there and wait for me in the training room. So, it's where the guys are taking, the tape off their ankles and looking at their injuries after the game or whatever. And I'm kind of in a back office there. And Jim Fassel's there, and he comes in, he's talking, and blah, blah. Oh, hey, Chris, great to see you. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. He looks at me, and this is the middle of a quarterback battle. And he goes, you know what? He goes, your dad's going to be the starting quarterback. You know that? Your dad's going to be the starting quarterback. And I was like, okay. I kind of just brushed it off. And then a few days later, and my dad has no idea, a few days later, my dad starts to go, I think they're going to name me the starter here. And I went, Dad, Jim Fassel the other night was saying this stuff to me. And he was like, really? Like, he was like shocked. But I think like Jim Fassel was kind of trying to tell me, so I would tell my dad to let him know, like, hey, you're in the leader house. You're going to be the starter. But I don't know, not that maybe I'm blabbering, but I just thought that was a cool story, and it's something that I'll always remember him by.
I now must know.
Yeah.
Did he tell you that before or after you filled Jeff Hostetler's shoes with shaving cream?
It was around that time frame. It was either, I can't remember.
Maybe he told you. Maybe he told you because he saw you do it.
You do it the first time.
He's like, Christopher, you don't need to do it. Your dad's going to be the starting quarterback. You don't need to keep doing that.
I can't remember if I filled his cleats with shaving cream in 91 or 92, but it was around that time frame for sure.
I just wish there had been surveillance footage that was still available of little Christopher sitting there looking at those shoes, the gears turning in his head, the devil on the left shoulder, the angel that probably wasn't there at all, the devil on each shoulder, and you shake that can up of Barbasol, and that sound it makes, that filling the shoes up.
I was laying on the ground doing homework, Mike. I was doing homework. And nobody was around.
Explains why you ate a hamburger off the floor of LaGuardia. The germaphobe laying on the ground of an NFL locker room.
I know.
Good God.
I'm on the ground doing my homework while my dad's back doing whatever. And it just like the bulb went on. And I was sitting there and it's like I came out of my textbook and I looked up and I went, wait, I remember a story my dad told me about shaving cream and guys' cleats. There's Hostetler's cleats. Let me go get him and teach him a lesson. So that's it. But Jim Fassel, man, great career. Sorry to see him go. Really enjoyed my time with him and really found him to be a great person. With a lot of fun to be around.
Just a stunner, too, at 71.
Man.
So condolences to the family, to the Giants organizations, to all of his players and colleagues and anyone who knew and worked with Jim Fassel.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.